Been a weird month, guys, but we are back. So the event season for 2023 has started, and I think it's about time we talked about some impressions, some display ideas, and had a look at some bits of kit. So the display season for 2023 has started. I've already done my first couple of small events. I'll have some footage scattered about in this video for you to see from them, and I'll probably do some videos actually about them at some point. So the season's started and I've got some ideas for different types of displays. So today I just want to go over a few of them with you and show you some of the equipment I'm going to use in them. 2023 is going to be a weird year for me because previously doing this I've always been part of a group, whereas now I'm independent, as it were. I've got my own insurance and everything, and even like my own group name. So I can do different things and whatever I want and not have to worry about what other people are doing. The group that I was part of, I'll still do stuff with, and I'm also a member of the local military vehicle group, and I'll do a lot of stuff with them. But I'll also be able to do a lot of stuff on my own, and sorts of little events that you don't always do when you do this sort of things, like classic car shows. I'll be doing a couple of them just with the Jeep. So that's going to be a strange year. I'm going to try and not do any huge displays because I just want to get a feel of what's going to be going on. How often the other people I turn up with and stuff like that are going to have equipment that I might be able to display with, and just get a feel for it now that things have changed, and really just see how we go. On that note, I've come up with what I call my lazy boy impression, which is for when I do really small displays, normally when it's just me and the Jeep basically. I mean, do a lot of events, little things like fetes and stuff like that. They're only 3 or 4 hours long, and you just go in the vehicle and I have the Jeep set up as a display vehicle with all the kit and everything in it. But I myself am basically just in a uniform with the web gear and everything. There's no static display, as it were. So I want to show you that today and see what you think of it and go over some ideas that I have for it. So by the magic of editing, here I am. Here's the basis of my lazy boy impression. Now when I say that, what I really mean is this is basically an M43 impression. So it's a late war thing, you know, Market Garden onwards. You aren't going to probably see this in Normandy, though there are a few bits and pieces I've seen photos of. But so what we've basically got here is your standard undershirt, a pair of M43 trousers and some suspenders, and a nice set of the buckle boots. Now, that's the lazy boy part of this. So this is basically for me to wear when I'm just doing a small event, normally when it's just in the vehicle, and you don't want to spend an hour trying to get your gaiters on top of your rough outs, or messing around with your wool trousers, because I'm a lard, which don't have suspenders on, so you're constantly hiking them up to get over your gut. So it isn't lazy at all, really, and I'm going to pair this with an M41 jacket. And here we are with the M41 jacket on. Also got my mechanic's cap on, or hat I should say. So this is the basics of the clothing, what I have at the events when I'm doing this lazy boy stuff. Got the nice buckle boots here, which I love. That's the main part of what I mean lazy. You ain't got to put the boots on. So let's have a look at it with some web gear. So a lot of you will have seen before my M1 carbine weapon that I made to be like a driver's weapon. That hasn't really changed, except I've replaced the OD7 pouches with these nice OD3 ones, which were new old stock, like immaculate. So we've got a nice weapon here. Now if I just quickly pop that on with the magic of editing, web gear on, and we've got the musette bag. I have the musette bag on the shoulder strap instead of attached to the suspenders, because you can't have it on your back and drive a vehicle. It doesn't make sense. So I have it like this. I think it looks quite good. The musette bag's actually full of all of the appropriate content, so I'm going to do a video showing you what I have in here at some point, because it's come out quite nice and I've got pretty much everything I need in it now. So what do you think? You've got the web gear, you've got your uniform, and this will be paired, if I just take the muzzle cover off, with a nice little M1 carbine. So you've got a properly, I think, nice driver's impression here. But I want some criticism, you know, what do you guys think? What's crap, what isn't crap, apart from my lard arse, that is, being the problem. And you've also got the helmet. So I'll pop the carbine down. This is the same helmet you've seen before, but I've redone it again as I did such a terrible cork job on it the first time. So have a look at that. I think it's come out way better. She's not perfect, but she's a lot better. And it's got a Belgian liner in it. It's not exact, it's not, you know, a perfect helmet. But for what I'm doing, I think this is pretty much exactly what you want. That's the first little impression shown to you. Again, give us some criticism in the comment section. But I'm hoping that this has come out nice. Note that I don't have my period glasses on. This is something I've started doing at events where I just take my glasses off and I'm basically half blind instead. I can see where people is and that, I just can't read stuff. Now that's done just for a bit more authenticity. I know non-airborne soldiers, they had them with glasses, but this just gives my eyes a rest. I look pretty knackered half the time anyway. Might just add a bit more authenticity to it. Obviously when I'm doing videos like this, there's a problem because I can't see the monitor to see what's in focus and what isn't, but there you go. But yeah, first impression, let's go to the second one. So this is the rifleman version of the lazy impression. You see we've got the full web gear on, we've got the cartridge belt, the medical pouch, canteen, we've got the full length bayonet which I've put on there because there's a lot of photos of 2nd Armoured Division infantry where they've got the full length bayonet. So we have a nice original full length one in there, which we can just pop down. Since I shoe this web gear on the channel last, I've changed the scabbard because I came across another scabbard and that's a better one. But we've got that, we've got the ammo pouch on the side there, which is handy. And we've got the bandolier, and all of the bandolier and the cartridge belt are actually full of the Garand clips with the rounds in. And you got the helmet on just to show you what it's all like together. So again, right, what we got going on here. And obviously you pair this up with a nice M1 Garand. So obviously all my stuff is deactivated before anyone panics because this is the UK. So we normally have this with a nice Garand. And all I've done here is when I fitted some reproduction slings to most of my stuff, most of my rifles. They're horrible fake orange leather sort of stuff. I hate it. So I've just dyed the slings, or I'm in the process of dyeing all the slings. It could take some while. So yeah, so this is the rifleman impression, late war. And imagine this, you can also just change out the M41 jacket for the M43 jacket just for a complete a later war impression. So again, I'll give you a little turn around. And what do you think? Sorry if I'm puffing and panting, it's bloody hot in this room with all this stuff on. So anyway, let's talk about some equipment. Oh, before we do that actually, we'll just pop this nice rifle down here. Before anyone starts saying, where's your haversack? Here's the haversack. I always have it with me because I'm doing vehicle stuff in that vehicles all the time. I don't have it on, and you'll see that in a lot of photos of the 2nd Armoured Division, haversacks on the vehicles, and the infantry don't have them on. So we've got the whole original haversack here with the original E-tool and everything, and inside it it's got the half a tent with the pegs and the rations and all done up pretty nice. My God, that is bloody hot doing all this in this room. That is too small with too many lights to be wearing a full kit. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the look at them two impressions, and now we're going to have a chat about some stuff I want to do and have a look at some more equipment. So obviously what I've just shown you is to go with the vehicle. And if you wanted to see Normandy version of the impression, all you have to do is imagine the same thing, but with the wool trousers and the gaiters and everything. I actually got a nice set of original gaiters in January, the end of January. Finally found a set of originals that fit my legs. So I mean, I've been trying to get hold of a pair of these that fit for like 3 years. So I will be doing a full Normandy impression video at some point for you. So let's sit back and put my feet up. You can see lovely boots. To just quickly mention something else that I've done, notice that the camera's not wobbling when I bang the table and bang my feet up, because I've now got a lovely articulated arm mounted to the wall with the camera on that so that I can show you stuff without everything shaking around and it being crap, because I was doing my head in and I'm sure it wasn't nice to watch. It also means that this camera can now go all the way up onto the ceiling basically and then look straight down, so I can get a nice picture of the whole table for you to do how-to videos, stuff like how to fit slings or whatever, all that sort of thing. So the channel has now got a lot more options of what I can do, and it won't have the annoying wobble all the time. Anyway, on to our other ideas. So the other thing I want to do is, because I'm doing like this roll and display sort of thing with the Jeep now, and that's what I'm going to do for a lot of this year. It's going to be a quiet year with less big displays and more roll and what I call a roll and display, as the Jeep's always set up with the equipment. I don't like to have any modern stuff or anything remotely visible in the Jeep. That's all set up to look how it should be for its particular role. And I want to extend that to the trailer. So what I did, a while back I found a piece of paperwork which had all the lists of what a heavy weapons section would have, like a platoon heavy weapons section, and what they would carry in their Jeep, because they had a Jeep allocated to them with a trailer. And somehow I managed to lose the file, which is awful, but I can remember a lot of it off the top of my head. So what I'm basically trying to do for displays is have the trailer as a display as well. So at events that'll be loaded up with what it should have in it, canvas cover took off so everyone can see it. So you'll have the heavy weapon section Jeep with its trailer, with the machine guns and the ammunition and the toolboxes and stuff like that in, and that's a very much work in progress. But that's something that I'm going to be starting work on. So you see stuff like the ammunition boxes and the toolbox, which I need to finish restoring actually. That'll all be in the Jeep. You'll have multiple pack boards with the 30 cal on them and ammo tin, stuff like that. I just thought that'd be a cool thing, and you don't normally see it. Well, around here I've not seen anyone do something like that anyway. Trailers are normally very much covered up with a canvas, and that's for full of modern stuff. So I thought I'd just try something a little different, and I think that would be cool. So when I do the test of that, which will be this weekend, there'll be like the prototype version of it, as you were. I will show that to you. I'll get some footage and show that for you. And the other main thing that I've been working on is over the last year or so, you guys have seen I've been trying to put together all the different weapons for the different weaponry. So we've now got a lovely weapon for the Garand, for the rifleman stuff. We've got a really nice weapon for the carbine, which with a little bit modification can also be applicable to a heavy weapons crew member, which is really nice and I like it. I'm not going to go down the Thompson route because if I don't very often take a Thompson out, but when I do, I'll just have it with, at some point I'll put together just a belt, just a little belt with hardly anything on, and all I'll basically have is the little mag pouch that you can see up this corner somewhere. So I'm not going to push into that too much, and that would be again a vehicle, I think a vehicle related thing where you can say, well, I ain't got tons of equipment on them because they're a driver or something like that. We'll sort something out. But what I have wanted to sort out for a long time is a nice bar impression. So let's see what I came up with the other day. Now this is an extremely late war impression. We're talking in Germany, it's all M44s, all of it, all OD7. So we've got the field bag with the suspenders, we've got half of a later pattern pup tent on it, we've got an OD7 bar belt with the OD7 canteen bottles, a pouch and the medical pouch. Now, I know that everyone's going to go, well, they wouldn't have had OD7 bar belts. And you're absolutely right. God, I look like shit today. Anyway, unfortunately, I'm finding it very difficult to get hold of an early bar belt. I really want to do a Normandy impression, you know, bar gunner impression. But for now, all I've got is this OD7 belt. So this is the best I can really come up with. Now, when I used this earlier in the year, I took it out. Someone wanted to see the BAR, so I took it out, which I'd never done before. I didn't have the magazines, so I filled up my pouches with little Airsoft Vietnam era magazines. But since then, I have acquired 12 bar magazines, which I paid way too much money for. Now, bit of a story here. I'm a bit of an idiot. I had an opportunity to have a quite nice OD3 bar belt. That was at Stoneleigh. It had 8 magazines in it. It had some rounds in it. It wasn't in perfect condition. Some of the pouches here had like bits missing off them, like little corner bits missing, but it was in fairly good nick. 43 dated, I think. Oh, I didn't go for it because I'm a moron. Every so often I have a brain fart. I was there to buy lots of Jeep parts for doing electronics and stuff, and I was worried about how much money I was going to be spending on all these bloody Jeep parts at the time. So I didn't go for it. I got this one instead, which was cheaper, obviously, because it's OD7 and didn't have any mags. But now I've bought the mags, I've ended up actually paying more, and I'm a moron. So when you get an opportunity, what I'm saying is when you get an opportunity to have something really nice and you're like, just buy it if you can afford it. Just because ever since I literally left Stoney and I was like, I'm a fucking idiot. Why didn't I buy that bar belt? So this is what we've got temporarily instead, and I'll get rid of this probably once I can do an earlier impression, or I'll keep it, but I'll probably get rid of the bar belt and just, you know, I don't know, we'll sort something out. So I'm working on a bar impression. This will do for now. You can put it on with your M43 jacket and everything and say this is extremely late war, you know, right in the last months of the war. But this should be a slightly lighter shade of green. I've seen no evidence of OD7 bar belts getting into service during the war. This is a 50s dated one, so this would make a nice Korean impression, but that's not what I do. So just give us your thoughts on this. I mean, we've got pretty much everything on it. We've got a bayonet fitted to the field bag. I've got the cargo bag, which I carry around separately like a musette bag. You know, I think this is pretty good to time being, but I really do want to do a Normandy one. So if any of you know in the UK of a bar belt, nice one, that someone's selling, send me a message, please. Please do it. I need one. I'm upset. So I think that's about it for today. This has probably gone longer than you wanted it to. Again, in the comment section, give us some feedback on the 2 impressions with the 41 jacket and the 43 trousers with the buckle boots. What do you think of that? I mean, like I say, I keep calling it this lazy boy thing, but it's not really lazy. It's just I don't have to worry about my trousers falling down because I'm a fat lad, and the wool trousers don't have suspenders. And for doing tons of stuff, the reproduction wool trousers, I mean, mine are the Miltech ones, they're a bit rubbish. They're as best you can get in the UK, I think, but they're still not, you know, very good. If you've got your lack of thigh gap, as it were, they scuff up, they wear in pretty fast. So I just, you know, the 43s are much harder wearing. They're going to last a lot longer. And then you can just have a few nice events a year, or I'm going to have a few nice events a year, where you do a slightly bigger display and then you crack out the Normandy kit for the whole thing, if you know what I mean. So I'm just thinking if there's anything else I'll show you in this. I mean, I don't think so. Apologies for it being a while since you've had a video. It's just been a crazy month. I've got a sick animal, tons of stuff going on, and it's really day by day at the minute. But I do have a lot of video ideas, and now we've got this fancy articulated arm. We can really do some smart stuff without all the crap that's been happening beforehand with the wobble and stuff, which might not bother you guys, but it bothers me. So I've got some tutorial stuff in mind for just basic things that people might have questions with. There's a lot of new kit that has been got since I did a finds video, so I got a lot of stuff to show you. There's ideas and things are in the works, and I still need to get the GoPro out and test that for recording some Jeep footage. I just need to make a nice magnetic mount for it. And one last thing before I go, what do you think of the backdrop now? I've done a bit of work, thought I'd make it look a bit nicer for you. So give us some criticism on that, things that you'd like to see and stuff like that. If you enjoyed the video and me waffling like a lot of twat and showing you my lard ass trying to do a decent impression, please do like and subscribe. That does help the channel a lot. And tick the little bell, because I've noticed that we've got like about 720 subscribers now, but we're only getting a couple of hundred views on each video. So hit that bell, because I know YouTube does weird things. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon. Hopefully less than a month from now this time.